In front of one of Russia's most potent symbols of power and history, the Tsar's Winter Palace, hundreds of people gathered together, taking comfort and support from each other in a silent vigil at a time of suffering. The dead were known to many.
On this flight there was a girl who I've known since I was 6. Her name was Leah. We were at the same gymnastics class.
They were mainly our people, citizens of St Petersburg. But it's not just them. We don't want an aircraft to ever crash again.
At the crash site in Egypt, search teams are now scouring an area of more than 20 square kilometres, trying to piece together exactly what happened to Flight 9268. 171 bodies have now been recovered, some nearly 10 kilometres from the crash site. Russian officials say the aircraft, which was flying from the Red Sea resort of Sharm el-Sheikh to St Petersburg, had broken up at very high altitude. Several international airlines, including Air France and Lufthansa, have decided not to fly over the area where the flight came down until the cause of the crash is identified. But both Russia and Egypt are reluctant to give any credibility to claims from ISIL affiliates that they shot down the Airbus.
It's very important that this matter be left alone and that discussions of the reasons behind it should not take place, because this takes a very long time. These are complicated matters that require very advanced techniques and broad investigations that could take months.
In the resort where many of the victims had been staying, there were prayers for those lost. And across Russia, church services to mark the country's worst ever air disaster. Questions too about what happened above the skies of Egypt. But for a community desperate to understand what happened to that flight, there will be no quick answers. For these people, the horror of this tragedy is becoming more apparent as the bodies start arriving home, the bodies of those killed in the crash. They'll be taken to a purpose-built mortuary where their DNA will be matched with the samples given by their families. Here in Petersburg, the home for so many of the dead, they've decided to extend the period of mourning for another 2 days. Peter Sharp, Al Jazeera in St Petersburg.